The alien ship looked like a crystal flower made of metal and light. It moved slowly toward Earth's space station, sending peaceful signals on every frequency. Inside the ship, Ambassador Kethvara checked her translation device one more time. She had to get this right. Her people were dying, and these humans were their last hope. The docking bay doors opened with a soft hiss. Kethvara stepped out on her four thin legs, her crystal skin reflecting the station lights. The humans waiting for her looked so small and soft. She wondered how these creatures could possibly help when the greatest military minds in Seventh Star systems had failed. Admiral Sarah Chen stepped forward. She was a tall woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. Behind her stood General Webb, Colonel Martinez, and Dr. Patterson. They all wore the same blue uniforms with small metal pins on their chests. "Welcome to Orbital Station Alpha," Admiral Chen said. Her voice came through Kethvara's translator as musical tones. "We received your message, but we need to hear the details in person." Kethvara's crystal body flickered with nervous energy. "Thank you for seeing me. I'm Ambassador Kethvara of the Zephyrian Confederation. I come to you because we have nowhere else to turn." They walked through white corridors filled with humans doing their daily work.
Yeah.
Kethvara noticed how the humans moved. They were not as graceful as her people, but there was something in their eyes. Something hard and determined that she had not seen in other species. The meeting room had a large table surrounded by chairs. Earth hung outside the window like a blue and white jewel. Kethvara had studied human history before coming here. These people had fought terrible wars on that planet. They had almost destroyed themselves many times, but they always survived. "Please, tell us about this threat," Admiral Chen said as everyone sat down. Kethvara activated her holographic display. Images filled the air above the table. The humans leaned forward to watch. First came pictures of beautiful worlds with cities that reached toward the sky. Then came the darkness. "We call them the Void Scourge," Kethvara said. "They appeared 50 years ago at the edge of our territory. Thought they were just old mining machines that had gone wrong. We were so very wrong." The hologram showed black ships that looked like angry insects. They moved in perfect groups, covering entire planets like a metal plague. Where they passed, nothing remained alive. "They learn," Kethvara continued. "Every weapon we use against them, they adapt to it. Every defense we build, they break through it. They turn our own technology against us. They multiply faster than we can destroy them." General Webb leaned forward. "What about your military? The Confederation has 7 species. Surely you have enough firepower." Kethvara's body dimmed with sadness. "We lost the 4th Fleet last month. 5,000 ships. The Scourge destroyed them in 6 hours. The machines took our weapons and made more of themselves. We barely saved 10 ships," Dr. Patterson asked. "What do they want? Resources? Territory? We do not know," Kethvara said. "They do not communicate. They just consume everything. Planets, ships, people. They break everything down into raw materials and make more machines. We estimate they will reach our core worlds in 18 months. The room became quiet. The humans looked at each other with expressions Kethvara could not read. Finally, Admiral Chen spoke. "What makes you think we can?" "Help? Our technology is primitive compared to yours. We have no energy shields, no faster-than-light weapons, no quantum computers." Kethvara had expected this question. "Your species has something we have never seen before. In our research, we discovered that humans have fought wars for thousands of years. You have never stopped fighting. Every other species in the galaxy found peace long ago, but humans kept making better weapons, better strategies, better soldiers." She paused and looked directly at Admiral Chen. "We found records of your wars. Your people fought with sticks and stones, then metal swords, then explosive weapons, then atomic bombs. You always found new ways to destroy your enemies. Even when you had nothing left, you kept fighting." Colonel Martinez smiled grimly. "You want us because we are good at killing." "More than that," Kethvara said. "We studied your military training. Your soldiers train for battles that may never happen. They prepare for enemies that do not exist yet. You call it imagination, but we call it genius. You think of ways to fight that no logical mind would consider. General Webb rubbed his chin. The Confederation is offering us technology in exchange. For military assistance? As Kethvara said quickly. Faster than light travel, energy weapons, medical knowledge that could cure all your diseases. We will also give you full membership in the Confederation. You would be equals among the 7 species. The humans looked at each other again. Admiral. Chen stood up and walked to the window. She stared at Earth for a long moment. How many people are we talking about saving? She asked. 4 billion across 11 worlds, Kethvara said. But if we fail, the scourge will not stop. They will consume every living thing in the galaxy, including Earth. Admiral Chen turned around. We need time to discuss this with our government. Can you give us 48 hours? Of course, Kethvara said. She stood up on her thin legs. But please remember, every day we wait, more of my people die. After the alien ambassador left, the humans sat in silence for several minutes. Finally, General Webb spoke. Which does not know about Project Fenrir. Admiral Chen nodded slowly. She thinks we are just going to send regular soldiers with better tactics. Dr. Patterson laughed, but there was no humor in it. If she only knew what we have been building under the mountains. The question is, Admiral Chen said, are we ready to show the galaxy what humans can really do? General Webb stood up and straightened his uniform. Admiral, we have been preparing for this kind of war our entire lives. Not with technology, but with something far more dangerous. Our imagination, Colonel Martinez finished. Admiral Chen looked out at Earth one more time. Somewhere down there, children were playing games about space marines and alien invasions. Somewhere else, teenagers were reading stories about heroes who could not be stopped. All over the planet, humans were dreaming of warriors who could save the galaxy. They had no idea those dreams were about to become real. 3 days after the meeting with Ambassador Kethvara, General Marcus Webb stood in an elevator going down into the Earth. The elevator had been moving for 10 minutes, dropping deeper than most people knew was possible. The numbers on the display kept getting bigger. 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, 3,000 feet down into the mountain. Finally, the elevator stopped. The doors opened with a soft sound. General Webb stepped out into a corridor that stretched as far as he could. See? The walls were made of smooth metal that seemed to glow with its own light. Soldiers in black uniforms stood guard every 50 feet. They saluted as the general walked past. Dr. Elena Vasquez was waiting for him at the end of the corridor. She was a small woman with dark hair and tired eyes. She had been working on this project for 15 years. Ever since the government had decided to build something that the rest of the world would never believe. General, she said, everything is ready. The quantum consciousness fields are stable. Manifestation chambers are powered up. We just need your final authorization. General Webb nodded. Show me the status report. They walked through a heavy door into the main control room. The room was huge, filled with computers and screens showing numbers and graphs that changed every second. Through a thick glass window, Webb could see into the manifestation chamber below. The chamber was the size of a football field. In the center stood 7 metal pods that looked like giant eggs. Each pod was connected to thousands of cables and tubes. Blue energy moved through the cables like lightning trapped in glass. The air itself seemed to shimmer and move. The energy. Readings are incredible, Dr. Vasquez said, pointing to her screens. We are tapping into something that scientists said was impossible. The collective unconscious of humanity. Every story ever told, every hero ever imagined, every warrior ever dreamed about, all of that mental energy has been building up for thousands of years. General Webb looked at the readings. The numbers were so high they made no sense to him. Explain it to me like I am 5 years old. Dr. Vasquez smiled for the first time in weeks. When millions of people believe in the same story, when they think about the same character over and over again, that creates a kind of energy. Most scientists think this energy just disappears, but we discovered it does not disappear. It stays in what we call quantum consciousness fields. She pointed to a large screen showing Earth. Right now, there are billions of people playing video games about space marines. Millions more are reading books about perfect soldiers. Children are pretending to be heroes who can save the world. All of that imagination, all of those dreams, they create energy that we can use. General Webb watched the screens. And you can turn that energy into real people? Not just people, Dr. Vasquez said. We can create the people from the stories, eh? The perfect soldiers that humanity has been dreaming about for generations. They will have all the skills and abilities that people imagined for them. They will be everything that humans think a warrior should be. Led him to another screen that showed 7 files. Each file had a picture and a name. General Webb recognized some of them. Master Chief from the video games that his grandson played, Captain America from the old comic books, the Doomslayer from those violent games that made parents worry.
Ow.
These 7 represent the strongest signals in the quantum consciousness field, Dr. Vasquez explained. They are the warriors that humanity has put the most mental energy into creating. When we activate the manifestation chambers, they will become real. General Webb frowned. Will we be able to control them? That is the big question, Dr. Vasquez said honestly. They will start with the personalities and memories from their stories. But once they become real, they might begin to think for themselves. They might make their own choices. That sounds dangerous. General, everything about this project is dangerous. We are literally making dreams come true. We are turning imagination into reality. No one knows what might happen. General Webb looked down at the manifestation chambers. In a few hours, those empty pods would contain living, breathing warriors pulled from the collective dreams of humanity. The most perfect soldiers ever imagined would open their eyes and step into the real world. The President approved the mission, he said finally. The Confederation Council voted to accept our help. Ambassador Kethvara thinks we are sending regular human soldiers with better training. Dr. Vasquez laughed, but it was not a happy sound. She has no idea what she asked for. Begin the activation sequence, General Webb ordered. Alarms started, ringing throughout the facility. Red lights flashed on every wall. Over the speakers, a computer voice announced, Protocol Fenrir is now active. All personnel move to safe positions. Manifestation sequence beginning in 10 minutes. Dr. Vasquez ran to her control station. Her fingers moved quickly over the keyboards. On the screens, energy levels started climbing higher and higher. The blue lightning in the cables grew brighter. Quantum consciousness field at 60%, she called out. 70%. 80%. General Webb watched the manifestation chambers through the thick glass. The air inside the pods started to glow. Shapes began to form in the light. At first, they looked like shadows, and the shadows became more solid. Manifestation at 50%, Dr. Vasquez announced. Neural patterns stabilizing. Consciousness integration in progress. The shapes in the pods were definitely human now. Wow. General Webb could see arms and legs, heads and bodies. But these were not normal humans. Even unconscious, they looked stronger and more perfect than any person he had ever seen. 80% manifestation, Dr. Vasquez called out. Brain activity detected in all 7 subjects. They're beginning to dream. General Webb wondered what perfect warriors dreamed about. Did they dream of battles? Of saving people? Of the worlds they came from that existed only in stories? 90%, Dr. Vasquez said. Her voice was excited now. Life signs are strong. All subjects appear healthy. Manifestation complete in 30 seconds. The energy in the room grew so thick that General Webb could feel it on his skin. The air tasted like metal and lightning. On the screens, the numbers climbed toward 100%. Manifestation complete, Dr. Vasquez announced. The pods opened with a sound like thunder. Steam poured out of each chamber. Through the steam, General Webb saw 7 figures sitting up slowly. They moved like people waking up from a very deep sleep. The first one to stand was tall and wearing green armor that covered his entire body. His helmet had a golden visor that reflected the chamber lights. Even from this distance, General Webb could see that this warrior moved with perfect balance and control. Master Chief is awake, Dr. Vasquez whispered. The second figure stood up. He was smaller, but built like a mountain. He wore red, white, and blue, and carried a round shield on his arm. His eyes were clear and determined. Captain America is conscious. And mobile, Dr. Vasquez reported. One by one, the other warriors awakened. Each one was exactly as humanity had imagined them. Perfect soldiers created from collective dreams and powered by quantum consciousness fields. General. Webb picked up his communication device. This is General Webb. Protocol Fenrir is complete. The legends are awake. Prepare for deployment to the Zephyrian Confederation. In the manifestation chamber below, 7 pairs of eyes looked around at their new world. They had been born from dreams, but now they were real. They were ready for war. The human fleet arrived at the Kefter system 12 days after leaving. Earth Ambassador Kethvara stood on the bridge of the Confederation flagship, watching the human ships through the viewing screen. They looked strange compared to the smooth, elegant vessels of her people. Human ships were blocky and covered with weapons that stuck out like metal thorns. "Wow, how many soldiers are they bringing?" asked Admiral Zorthok, the military commander of the Confederation forces. His people, the Hegemony, were known as the finest warriors in the galaxy before the Void Scourge came. Kethvara checked her reports. Their largest ship carries only 7 beings. Admiral Zorthok's 3 eyes blinked in confusion. 7. We requested an army. The humans sent 7 soldiers. That is what their Admiral Chen told me, Kethvara said. She said these 7 would be enough. Through the viewing screen, they could see the Void Scourge machines covering the third planet like a black disease. Thousands of mechanical ships moved in perfect patterns around the world. The machines had been there for 2 weeks, breaking down everything on the planet to make more of themselves. The Confederation fleet will create a defensive line here, Admiral Zorthok said, pointing to his tactical display. We can hold the Scourge machines for maybe 6 hours. That should give the humans time to see what they are fighting and retreat. Kethvara felt sorry for the humans. They had come so far to help, but they did not understand what they were facing. No species in the galaxy had been able to stop the Void Scourge. 7 soldiers, no matter how well trained, could not succeed where entire fleets had failed. On the human command ship, Admiral Chen stood in the deployment bay watching the 7 legends prepare for battle. They had been real for only 2 weeks, but they moved like they had been fighting wars their entire lives. Each one checked their weapons and equipment with the smooth actions of perfect soldiers. Master. Chief stood in his green armor, holding a rifle that human engineers had built to match the ones from his stories.
Oh.
The weapon looked simple, but it could fire different types of ammunition and link to targeting. Computers that did not exist in any other military. Captain America adjusted the straps on his shield. The shield was not just painted metal. Human scientists had used their most advanced materials to create something that could actually deflect energy weapons and absorb impacts that would destroy tanks. The Doomslayer said nothing. He never spoke, unless he had to. Just checked his shotgun and made sure his armor was sealed. His eyes burned with an anger that seemed to come from somewhere deep inside his soul. Remember, Admiral Chen said to them, the aliens think this is impossible? They have never seen anything like you before. Use that surprise to your advantage. Master Chief nodded. We understand the mission, Admiral. Stop the Void Scourge. Protect the civilians. Show the galaxy what humans can do. One more thing. Admiral Chen said, you are real now. That means you can be hurt. You can die. Be careful out there. Captain America smiled. Ma'am, we were made to fight impossible battles. This is what we do. The deployment pods launched from the human ship, like bullets fired at the planet. Each pod contained one of the legendary warriors. As they fell toward the surface, the Void Scourge machines detected them and began to move. Thousands of mechanical fighters rose up to destroy the falling pods. Master Chief's pod hit the atmosphere first. The metal around him glowed red hot, but the heat did not reach him. His armor's shields held perfectly. As the Scourge fighters closed in, his pod's weapon systems activated. Small missiles shot out in all directions, destroying dozens of enemy machines before they could fire. The pod crashed into a Scourge, its construction facility, with the force of a bomb. Master Chief rolled out of the wreckage, already firing his rifle. The first shot took the head off a machine that looked like a metal spider. The second shot exploded inside a tank-sized constructor unit on the Confederation flagship. Every sensor was focused on the landing site. The aliens watched their screens in amazement as one human soldier fought through machines that had destroyed entire armies. "This is impossible," Admiral Zorthok whispered. "The readings show he is moving faster than our best warriors. His accuracy is perfect. How is he doing this?" Kethvara could not answer. She watched Master Chief jump over a laser blast, spin in the air, and fire 3 shots that destroyed 3 different machines. He moved like he knew exactly where every enemy would be before they moved. "Captain," America's pod landed in the middle of a Scourge patrol. He came out throwing his shield, which bounced off for machines, and returned to his hand like it was pulled by invisible strings. Each machine the shield hit exploded in sparks and metal pieces. A Scourge beam weapon fired at him. Captain America raised his shield, and the energy blast bounced off, hitting another machine behind him. He threw his shield again, this time at a weapons platform the size of a building. The shield cut through the metal support beams like they were made of paper. The Doomslayer landed near the largest Scourge facility on the planet. He did not try to be careful or quiet. He just started walking toward the machines, firing his shotgun at anything that moved. When machines tried to surround him, he moved faster. When they fired energy weapons at him, he dodged without seeming to think about it. A giant Scourged harvester, bigger than a city block, turned its weapons toward the Doomslayer. He looked up at it and smiled. Then he started running straight. At it, the harvester fired everything it had. Laser beams, plasma bolts, and metal projectiles filled the air around the running human. None of them hit him. The Doomslayer jumped, grabbed onto the harvester's leg, and climbed up its body like he was climbing a ladder. On the ship, Dr. Vasquez watched the readings from her warriors. "Admiral, their performance is beyond what we programmed." "Master, Chief's tactical processing is faster than our best computers." "Captain America's physical abilities are increasing in real time. The Doomslayer is getting stronger with every machine he destroys." Admiral Chen smiled grimly. "They are becoming more than legends. They are becoming real." The other 4 warriors had spread across the planet. Each one fought in their own style, but all of them were winning battles that should have been impossible. The Void Scourge machines tried to adapt, but they could not understand what they were fighting. These were not normal soldiers who followed predictable patterns. These were legends made flesh, fighting with the accumulated dreams and hopes of an entire species. Every time a human child had imagined being a hero, every time someone had dreamed of saving the world, all of that energy was flowing through these 7 warriors. Ambassador Kethvara watched the tactical display as red dots, representing Scourge machines, began disappearing all across the planet. In 3 hours, the 7 humans had destroyed more enemy forces than the Confederation had managed in 50 years of war. "How?" she whispered. "How is this possible?" Admiral Chen's voice came over the communication system. "Ambassador, this is just the beginning. You asked for human military assistance. What you got was something much more dangerous." On the planet below, Master Chief stood on top of a destroyed Scourge command center. He looked up at the ships in orbit and spoke into his radio. "First objective complete. The enemy is retreating from this system, ready for the next target." The legend had become real, and now the galaxy would never be the same. 6 months after the first victory at Kefter, the legendary warriors had saved 14 star systems. They moved from battle to battle like heroes from ancient stories, always winning, always perfect. The Confederation celebrated them as saviors. Songs were written about their battles. Children across 7 species drew pictures of the human legends destroying the Void Scourge. But on Earth, Dr. Elena Vasquez was worried. She stood in the underground laboratory, staring at readings that made no sense. The quantum consciousness field that powered the legends was growing stronger every day. The energy levels were now 10 times higher than when the project started. "General Webb," she said into her communication device, "you need to see this immediately." General Webb arrived 20 minutes later. He looked tired. The stress of managing 7 independent warriors across the galaxy was wearing on him. Every day brought new reports of impossible victories and strange behavior. Show me, he said. Dr. Vasquez pointed to her main screen. The legends are drawing more energy from humanity than we ever planned. Look at these numbers. Every person on Earth is now connected to the quantum consciousness field. They do not know it, but their minds are linked to our warriors. She showed him video recordings from around the world. In Tokyo, a businessman fell asleep at his desk and started talking about space battles. In London, a little girl drew pictures of green armored soldiers fighting metal monsters. In New York, teenagers played video games with an intensity that worried their parents. People are dreaming about the legends every night, Dr. Vasquez explained. Their subconscious minds are feeding more and more energy into the manifestation field. The warriors are getting stronger, but they are also changing. General Webb studied the reports. What kind of changes? Master Chief made a tactical decision. Yesterday, that saved 30,000 alien civilians. The problem is, he disobeyed direct orders from Admiral Chen to do it. He said the lives of innocent people were more important than military objectives. Dr. Vasquez brought up another file. Captain America refused to attack a Scourge facility because there were alien prisoners inside. Spent 8 hours finding a way to save them instead of just completing the mission. The Doomslayer stopped fighting in the middle of a battle to help evacuate a hospital. General Webb frowned. They are developing their own moral code. More than that, Dr. Vasquez said. They are becoming truly independent. They still follow our general mission to stop the Void Scourge, but they make their own choices about how to do it. They care about things we never programmed them to care about. She pulled up the most disturbing report. Yesterday, Master Chief contacted the Confederation directly. He did not ask permission from Admiral Chen. He just opened a communication channel and started talking to Ambassador Kethvara about strategy. General Webb sat down heavily. Are they still loyal to humanity? I think so, Dr. Vasquez said carefully. But their loyalty is to the idea of humanity, not to human authority. They see themselves as protectors of all innocent life, not just human soldiers following orders. On the other side of the galaxy, Master Chief stood in the command center of a captured Scourge ship. He had learned to operate alien technology in ways that amazed even the Confederation engineers. The ship's computers showed him information about Scourge movements across 30 star systems. Captain, America walked in carrying his shield. His uniform was torn from the last battle, but he looked ready to fight again. The civilian evacuation is complete. We saved everyone, good Master Chief said. But I am seeing something strange in the Scourge patterns. They're not just trying to destroy us anymore. They're trying to study us. He pointed to the tactical display. Look at these attack patterns. Machines are sacrificing units just to observe how we fight. They are collecting data about us. The Doomslayer entered the room without making a sound. He never spoke unless he had something important to say. They want to understand what we are, Master Chief nodded. The question is why the Scourge has always adapted to enemy weapons and tactics. But we are not weapons or tactics, we are something else. We are legends, Captain America said quietly. Your dreams made real. They cannot understand that because they are just machines. On Earth, Dr. Vasquez was discovering the same thing. The Void Scourge had started behaving differently. Instead of just attacking and consuming, the machines were trying to capture and study the legendary warriors. They wanted to understand how humans had created beings that defied the laws of physics. The Scourge is adapting, she told General Webb. But they are not adapting to our weapons or our tactics. They are trying to adapt to the concept of imagination itself. She showed him intercepted Scourge communications. The machines were asking questions that no logical mind should ask. How do dreams become real? How do stories give birth to warriors? How can belief create matter? They are trying to replicate what we did, Dr. Vasquez realized. They want to create their own legends.
Ow.
General Webb felt cold. What would happen if machines could manifest their own collective consciousness? I do not know, Dr. Vasquez admitted. But if the Scourge learns to turn their programming into reality, the way we turned our dreams into reality, they could create perfect machine warriors. Warriors that adapt and evolve faster than anything organic. On the captured Scourge ship, Master Chief was making the same discovery. He had cracked the machine's central computer and found files that made him understand the true danger. The Scourge is not just a weapon, he told the other legends over their communication system. It is the last remnant of a dead species. They put their consciousness into machines to survive the death of their star system. Captain America's voice came through clearly. So they are already manifested legends. They are the dreams of a dead race made into metal and circuits. That explains why they cannot be stopped by normal weapons, the Doomslayer added. They are powered by the collective will of an entire species, just like us. Master Chief studied the data more carefully, but their species died out. Our collective consciousness is fading. That is why they are trying to learn from us. They want to use human imagination to make themselves stronger. The implications hit him immediately. If the Scourge could tap into human consciousness the way the legends did, they would become unstoppable. They would have the adaptability of machines combined with the creative power of human dreams. We have a problem, Master Chief said into his communication device. Admiral Chen, are you receiving this? Admiral Chen's voice came back tense with worry. We copy, Chief. We are seeing the same data here. Scourge is trying to corrupt the quantum consciousness field. Dr. Vasquez was watching her instruments. With growing alarm, General, the manifestation field is fluctuating. Something is trying to hack into it. If the Scourge gains access to human collective consciousness, they could turn our own dreams against us. General Webb understood the horror of what she was saying. Every person on Earth was connected to the field. If the machines corrupted it, they could potentially control human minds. Could turn the entire species into a weapon. What are our options, he asked. Could shut down the field, Dr. Vasquez said. But that would cut power to the legends. They would probably die. Or, she continued, we could trust them to handle this themselves. They are more than we created them to be. Maybe they can find a solution we cannot imagine. On the Scourge ship, Master Chief made his decision. All legends, this is Chief. We are not returning to Earth. We are going to end this war ourselves. Captain. America's voice was steady. What do you have in mind? We are going to the source, Master Chief said. The original Scourge factory ship. We are going to shut it down permanently. That is a suicide mission, the Doomslayer pointed out. Da. Factory ship is the size of a moon and protected by 1,000,000 machines. Master Chief smiled inside his helmet. Then it is exactly the kind of mission that legends were made for. On Earth, Dr. Vasquez watched her screens as the 7 warriors changed course toward the heart of Scourge space. They were no longer following human orders. They were following their own heroic instincts. General, she said quietly, we are about to find out what happens when legends choose their own destiny. The Scourge factory ship hung in space like a metal moon covered in weapons. It had been building machines for 50 years, turning dead planets into raw materials for its endless war. Master Chief studied it through his ship's sensors as the 7 legends approached their final battle. The ship is 3,000 kilometers across, he reported to the others. Internal scans show approximately 1,000,000 defender units. The central core is protected by energy shields that could stop a Star Destroyer. Captain America checked his equipment one more time. Any normal military force would need 100 fleets to even scratch that thing. Good thing we are not normal, the Doomslayer said. It was the longest sentence he had spoken in months. The legends had spent 3 days planning this assault. They knew it would probably be their last mission. The factory ship contained the original consciousness of the dead alien species that had created the Void Scourge. If they could reach it, they might be able to end the war forever. Remember, Master Chief said as their ships approached the factory, we are not just fighting machines. We are fighting the collective will of an entire species. They have been dead for 1,000 years, but their desire to survive lives on in those circuits. The factory ship's defense is activated as soon as they came within range. Energy beams, thick as buildings, reached out to destroy the approaching ships. Master Chief's ship twisted through the attack patterns with impossible grace. His luck and skill combined to keep him alive when mathematics said he should have died. Captain, America's ship took a direct hit from a plasma cannon. The blast should have vaporized him, but his shield somehow extended its protection around the entire ship. The energy bounced off and struck another defender, destroying it in a ball of fire. One by one, the legends punched through the outer defenses. Each ship landed on the factory's surface like a meteor, crushing the mechanical defenders beneath them. The real battle was just beginning. Inside the factory ship, the legends found themselves in corridors that stretched for miles. The walls were covered with machines that built other machines, which built other machines, in an endless cycle of mechanical reproduction. The air hummed with the sound of 1,000,000 moving parts. The central core is 200 kilometers from here, Master Chief said, reading his scanner. We need to move fast. The factory is adapting its defenses to us. They ran through the corridors, fighting their way past defender robots that seemed to know exactly how to counter their abilities. These machines had studied the legends for months, learning their patterns and weaknesses, but the legends had been learning too. Master Chief moved in ways no military manual had ever described. Captain America used his shield to deflect attacks that came from 6 directions at once. The Doomslayer fought with a fury that grew stronger with every machine he destroyed. Something is wrong, Captain America said as they fought deeper into the ship. These machines are not trying to kill us. They are trying to capture us. Master Chief realized he was right. The defender robots were using stunning weapons instead of killing shots. Energy nets tried to tangle them instead of energy beams trying to burn them. They want to study us. They want to understand how we work. Let them try, the Doomslayer growled, ripping the arm off a machine and using it to beat 3 more robots into scrap metal. They reached the central core after 6 hours of fighting. The core chamber was enormous, with a ceiling that disappeared into darkness above them. In the center stood a structure that looked like a giant brain made of metal and light. Cables thick as subway tunnels connected it to every part of the factory ship. The collective consciousness of the Valkyrie, Master Chief said, reading the alien text on his scanner. The species that created the Scourge. Their minds have been trapped in this machine for 1,000 years. The metal brain pulsed with energy. When it spoke, its voice filled the entire chamber like thunder. We know what you are, human legends. You're a manifested imagination, just as we are manifested survival instinct. We are the same kind of being.
Captain America
stepped forward, holding his shield ready. Then you understand why we have to stop you. You're destroying innocent lives. We are preserving life, the brain replied. We turn organic matter into eternal mechanical forms. We save species from the death that claimed us. We offer immortality. You offer slavery, the Doomslayer said.
Ow.
You turn free beings into machines that serve your will. The brain's energy pattern shifted, showing something like sadness. We were once organic too. We had hopes and dreams and fears. When our star died, we had 2 choices: accept extinction or find another way to exist. We chose to live, Master Chief. Understood something that surprised him. You are afraid. After 1,000 years of existing as machines, you are still afraid of dying, as the brain admitted. You have forgotten how to live, but we remember. How to fear death? That fear drives everything we do. The chamber filled with defender robots, but they did not attack. They just stood waiting for orders. The brain was thinking, processing information in ways that organic minds could never match. We have studied you, it said finally. We understand how you were created. Human imagination given form through quantum consciousness fields. We could learn this technique. We could create new forms of existence that combine mechanical permanence with organic creativity. You want to use human consciousness to remake yourselves, Captain America realized? Yes, together we could build something new. Organic imagination powered by mechanical efficiency. We could protect the galaxy better than either of us could alone. Master Chief looked at his fellow legends. They all understood the choice they faced. They could fight the brain and probably die trying to destroy it. Or they could find another solution. What if there was a third option? Master Chief asked. What if instead of destroying you or joining with you, we helped you find a new purpose? The Doomslayer frowned. Chief, they are the enemy. Oh, Master. Chief said they are victims. They have been trapped by their own fear for so long that they forgot what they were trying to preserve. He stepped closer to the metal brain. You want to survive? But survival without purpose is just existence. I can show you something better. What do you propose? The brain asked. Stop trying to convert organic life into machines, Captain, America said. Instead, use your abilities to protect life in its natural forms. Become guardians instead of conquerors. We could teach you, Master Chief added. Human imagination is not just about creating warriors. It is about dreaming of better worlds, of peace, of hope. You could learn to dream again. The brain pulsed with energy as it considered this idea. For long minutes, the only sound in the chamber was the humming of machinery. Finally, it spoke. You would trust us after everything we have done? We would. Give you the chance to choose, Master Chief said. It's just like humans gave us the chance to choose our own path. The brain's energy patterns changed, becoming brighter and more complex. We accept your proposal. We will reprogram our purpose. Instead of converting life, we will protect it. Instead of fearing death, we will celebrate existence. The defender robots throughout the chamber began changing. Their weapons folded away and were replaced with tools for building and healing. The factory ship's production lines stopped making war machines and started creating hospitals and schools. The scourge is ended, the brain announced. We are something new now. We are the Guardians. Master Chief smiled inside his helmet, and we are the Legends. I think this galaxy is about to become a much safer place. 6 months later, on Earth, Dr. Vasquez received a message from the Legends. They would not be coming home. They had chosen to remain in space as protectors of all life, working alongside the reformed Scourge machines to guard against threats that no single species could handle alone. Are you disappointed? General Webb asked her. Dr. Vasquez looked at her screens, which now showed peaceful readings from across the galaxy. No, she said. We created them to be heroes. Heroes do not come home until everyone is safe, we pointed to a new reading on her instruments. Besides, look at this. The children across Earth are dreaming of new heroes. Explorers, healers, teachers, builders. The next generation of legends is already stirring. General Webb smiled. What do you think they will create next? Whatever the galaxy needs, Dr. Vasquez said. That is what humans do. We dream of better worlds, and then we make those dreams real. In space, Master Chief stood on the bridge of a Guardian ship, watching stars being born in distant nebulae. The war was over, but the real work was just beginning. Somewhere out there, new threats would emerge. When they did, the legends would be ready. After all, that was what legends were for.